All right, it is great to be here at Van Dyke Houses. This program here is a great example of the work of our Young Men's Initiative. Young Men's Initiative is a public-private partnership that was originally created in 2011 by my predecessor, Mayor Bloomberg. It was a great initiative, and I remember at the time being very excited by the announcement. In addition to the investment of Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Open Society Foundation and others put together $60 million to get this started. It's proven to be something very meaningful, and we're going to talk now about how we're going to build out on it. But I do want to express my appreciation to Mayor Bloomberg and to all of the organizations that helped support the launch of the Young Men's Initiative here in New York City. And today we're going to be talking about building this out, taking it farther, going to a much higher level, because we are answering the call of our president. President Obama has called on cities all across the country to take the goals that he has put together with the My Brother's Keeper initiative and change the way we do our work and reach farther. And we are answering the call of our president today, and we're accepting his challenge. We're going to go into detail with you about some of the things that that's going to mean for neighborhoods all over the city. But I want to commend President Obama for his leadership. I've said many times that I think he laid out in the State of the Union an extraordinary roadmap for the future of this country, for fighting income inequality, for building our economy. The president is very personally passionate about My Brother's Keeper, and he is calling on cities all over the country to answer his challenge, and New York City, as of today, is answering that challenge, and we're going to go very, very far to realize the dreams the president has put forward. Now, as I said, for President Obama, this is personal, and I want to thank him for that, because sometimes the way the world changes is when a leader makes a very personal commitment to seeing something through, and he has clearly done that. He's said to all of us that over these next 2 years as president, and I think well beyond his presidency, he will be focused on My Brother's Keeper and what it can mean for young men of color and for the larger community. So the president, again, he put down a challenge. This was not, go and do something nice. This was a challenge to cities around the country. And I had these conversations with the White House. They said, we want to see every city step up. We want to see more. We want to see a real focus, particularly on helping young men of color achieve their educational and career goals. The only way we're going to break through some of the history that still afflicts us is with a focused, determined effort. And so New York City has made the decision to take up the president's challenge, to double down on our existing efforts, to go a lot farther, because we believe this will be essential. We're going to focus on literacy. We're going to focus on job training. We're going to focus on crime prevention, a host of things that will have a transcendent impact on people's lives. Now, President Obama was quite clear in putting forward My Brother's Keeper that it came with specific goals. And our city is now saying we will work tirelessly to meet these goals. One, that we will ensure, and this will take time, but the goal is that all children read at grade level by the second grade. That sounds pretty basic, but it's something that hasn't been true in this city. It has to happen for us to go where we need to go. Two, ensuring that all youth complete post-secondary education or training. Again, that's a big goal. That will take time, but it's the right goal. For some, it's going to be one type of education. For some, it might be job training. Whatever it is, that all our young people have something that really gets them ready for their lives ahead. And three, it's obvious but so crucial, ensuring that all our young people remain safe from violent crime. That's the very powerful construct that the president has put forward. Now, we're basing our programs and our goals on that vision. And to move forward this very aggressive effort, the Young Men's Initiative now has a new leader who is going to help us reach this goal, and that is Cyrus Garrett. Let me tell you about Cyrus Garrett. Cyrus, why don't you step forward a little bit so I can brag about you? Okay, now there's a lot of things I'm going to tell you about Cyrus Garrett, but for the sports fans in the audience, Cyrus Garrett was a linebacker at the University of Illinois, which is not a minor matter. You have to be very good to do that and very disciplined and very hardworking, so I want to commend you for that early chapter in your life. Cyrus has devoted his life since his sports career ended to our young people. Been a person who applied his skills and abilities as an anti-drug counselor and a counselor with young people who have been in gangs at the Eldora State Training School for Boys in Iowa. He has helped young people to navigate very, very difficult environments and difficult realities. He's done a lot of work in communities around the country, community organizing and helping the community be involved in solving problems. He is a native of Chicago, Illinois. I do not hold that against him. I believe, I'm glad he stepped up to New York City, though. And he brings a wealth of experience that we think is going to be a game changer for this effort. Let's welcome and thank Cyrus for taking on this leadership role. So in answering the President's challenge, we have delineated 4 specific initiatives that we think get to the heart of the matter. First, over the next 3 years, we will create tutoring and reading programs that will reach at least 10,000 children in grades K through 2. 10,000 children minimum over the next 3 years. Second, we're going to increase a mentoring effort to prepare young people for college. We will engage 5,000 young men of color by 2017. So over the next 2 years, we will reach at least 5,000 young men of color, helping them realize their pathway to college. That's important. Third, and this is a particular issue that the First Lady has raised, because some of you know Charlene's history. She was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, in search of the best educational opportunity. Her family moved to a suburb named Long Meadow, and she felt throughout her education that something she deeply missed was role models, because none of her teachers looked like her. And it was something that a lot of people talk about, that to really help our young people realize their dreams, the more role models, the better, and some of the most powerful role models, and those that our young people see the most, are our teachers. So, over the next 3 years, through training and recruitment, we will prepare 1,000 young men of color to be teachers in our public school system, serving our children and being role models for them, and that's going to make a huge difference. Amen. And finally, you'll hear more about this from Cyrus. In 5 neighborhoods around the city, we're going to have a focused effort to deepen the ties between police and community, and particularly our young people and the police who protect them. Again, the leadership of this now greatly expanded effort will be in the hands of the new director of the Young Men's Initiative, and we are so glad that he is taking on this important challenge. Let's welcome Cyrus Garrett.
Thank you, Mayor de Blasio, Deputy Mayor Berry, for entrusting me with this tremendous honor. When I began my career of service, I dreamed of an opportunity to address the disparate outcomes that Black and brown young men too often face in our country. Over my career, I've come to believe that the best thing that any government can do for its citizens is to provide avenues of opportunity for their children and young adults. YMI will work to ensure all youth remain safe from violent crime. Our goal will be to establish a central role for YMI in the efforts to improve community police relations. This should include meaningful opportunities for police officers and young men to interact in our 5 targeted neighborhoods. That is Southeast Queens, South Bronx, East Harlem, East New York, and Brownsville, where we are today. The key to safe communities is ensuring that the community feels protected and served while ensuring law enforcement is respected and valued. I believe YMI can play an important part of building bridges of trust and understanding between the community and this city's loyal officers. I look forward to partnering with anyone that understands the asset that young men of color are to our city. And I am again honored to work with the most progressive mayor in the country to ensure that they become the engine that powers this one city rising together. Thank you.
Well done. So we're going to do questions on this topic. I'm going to give you a quick additional update, and then we'll do off-topic. Let's do this topic first. Yes?
Obviously, Michael Bloomberg covered a big part of the cost himself. Will he be contributing again to the initiative, or what's the status?
The resources that his foundation put in are still continuing. We're certainly going to be, there's been ongoing conversation, and we're hopeful that that will grow from there. But we're still working with the original grant at this point.
I'm going to follow up on that. So the city has allocated $22.5 million, and then because the larger initiative had been a 67 annual commitment. So what's the breakdown, and how much will the public-private partnership total?
Right, and so first of all, Richard will go into a little bit of that. But let me have Richard give you the overview.
Sure. So there are about the program since its inception in 2011 has been approximately a $145 million program. About $60 million of that is private funds from Bloomberg Philanthropies and Open Society Foundations. So as we've described, we're looking forward to continuing the core of those programs, and as we move forward, we're going to continue to work to make sure that we have the resources to continue the work that we want to continue, but also to continue to grow the initiative over time in the ways that we've described.
Yes.
Do you have any specific numbers on how many job centers like this one are opened in other NYCHA complexes?
NYCHA complexes?
Yeah, so we have 9 sites, and of those sites, there's 24 locations that we serve.
Wait, explain that. 9 sites.
So 9 sites, meaning 9 housing complexes like we're in today. And of those sites, there's 24 different locations within there that people can get these services.
So like there might be a few centers in one complex?
Right, exactly, depending on the size of the complex.
And any specific breakdown of boroughs?
We're pretty spread. I mean, our
get the list.
yeah, we can get you the list, but we're all over the city.
All 5 boroughs.
All 5 boroughs.